Hello, everyone. I'm Emily Braun from International Lifestyle Consulting. And today I have pleasure to speak, actually to meet first time and speak with a Wright couple, Monica and Richard Wright from Queretaro city in Mexico. I believe we will have interesting stories, or maybe even two perspectives, because we have couple with a little bit different background, which why I need to speak myself. We will ask Monica to share a little bit about her and what brought this nice family to come from United States to Mexico, and in particular in Querétaro. Please, Monica.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Emily. Well,
Hello.
This is Richard, my husband. And when he proposed to me, because I was born in Mexico City, but we met in California. And so when he proposed to me, I said, look, if you promise me that when you retire, you will bring me back or take me back to Mexico, then I'll marry you. And he said, yeah, sure. So we got married and we lived in California for many years. And once he was ready, once he retired and was ready, we moved to Mexico.
Can I ask about your professional background back in California, both of you?
Yeah, Richard, what was your professional background back in California?
My professional background, well, I was a carpenter, and I also later on worked for organized labor for about 25 years.
What place in California?
Pardon?
What place in California? What city?
Oh, San Jose, California.
San Jose. Okay, yes. No place.
And I got certified as a translator and interpreter for English and Spanish.
Okay, I see.
So I was working as an interpreter and as a Spanish teacher.
So how many years as you immigrated or moved to Mexico?
10 years.
10 years
10
ago.
years already. So why you selected Querétaro? For you being from Mexico City, why Querétaro?
Because my parents and my brothers live here in Querétaro. So we wanted to be close to family. We actually weren't too sure about settling in Querétaro permanently. We thought of staying in Querétaro just to arrive the first year before we decided for where we wanted to settle. We wanted to be close to the beach, but that never happened. And we were having a good life here. And so we just stay in Querétaro.
So tell me, please, what is special about Querétaro? Maybe Richard might share, or you, other than family. I understand it's important part for everyone, specifically for Mexicans. But why your decision was to stay in Querétaro, to have your roots now, family roots in Querétaro?
I have a couple of reasons. The first reason is the weather here. The weather's mild. It's never too hot. It's never too cold. Also, the standard of living in Querétaro is comparable to living in the United States. So there's nothing here you really can't get that you couldn't get in the United States. So the shopping, if you want to go to Costco or stores like that, they're here. The quality of life.
Any cultural differences for you, like being American and moving to Querétaro State? Did you have any?
Growing up in San Jose, California, there's a little cultural difference, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of difference in the way business is done, banking, et cetera. There's a lot of difference in how business is done that you have to adjust to.
So you involved in the business now, or just your general observation? Like it's your personal experience having business in Querétaro? Like, do you have your own business now in Querétaro, or it's
no? Monica has her own business. I don't. I'm basically retired, but it's just a personal banking thing. Things in the United States that you could do online, a lot of it you have to actually go in person in Mexico to get done.
Probably depends what bank, because I have an account in Mexican bank. I do all online. It's my experience, but I notice the difference. I know the difference in banking, but I believe it will be soon taking over, because Mexicans are working hard lately on IT side, on banking, to get to the same level.
It's not that's not a big issue. I mean, you just learn to, you learn to adapt to that. It's not really that big of a issue, because I did it that way when I was younger. So it's not like something that was foreign to me or I haven't ever done before.
Okay.
But there are many steps to do. So one thing that Richard learned is to take it easy and be patient. Right?
We all need
things are not so fast as in the United States.
Yes, from one side, we are looking for a less stressful lifestyle. I mean, we are coming from United States and Canada. We want to have different pace of life, enjoy life. But when things are not going so quickly as we expect, we lose our cool, I would say. Yes.
After living here for 10 years, I can honestly say I prefer the Mexican way of taking it a little bit more easy. Mm-hmm. It's still, everything still gets done. Mm-hmm. It doesn't get done overnight. So when you learn to relax and trust that it's going to get done, your quality of living actually, and I'll speak for myself, my quality of living has actually gone up.
Interesting. Very valuable observation. So I understand you have children, yes? And
yes.
What for children? I don't know. They were born back in United States. How they accommodated to the new culture?
Well, one was the youngest. He was only 4 when we came here, so he doesn't really know the United States.
Okay.
We didn't have a lot to adapt to. The oldest was 12, and he did okay, but he actually liked the United States better, and he decided to go back to college in the United States and live there.
Okay, things are changing. In a couple of years, they might change their decision and opinion. Things are changing very quickly. So what is your opinion, or what you would share, how medical system, which important for many of newcomers, how medical system in Queretaro comparing with United States, or just like your experience with medical system in Queretaro?
With the private medicine here?
Private, public, I know that there are two systems, public and private. So
right.
As you started with private, I understand it's kind of requirements or not?
We actually use both.
We use both. I used a public system for minor illnesses, and for anything major operations or anything, I use private.
Interesting. I thought that public system actually provide hospitals, and in hospitals you have kind of surgeries and stuff like that. And private, it's more for kind of consultation or for some, elective surgeries, they say.
In both systems, we have hospitals, clinics, but in the public system, unfortunately, sometimes they don't have the equipment at the level that you will expect. And also there is a lot of delays. There's so much population that needs the service that while in a private hospital, you can schedule a surgery as soon as you need it. In the public system is to what they have available.
Yeah, it's
So the private medicine, in my experience with it, it's equal to the United States. There's really no difference that I've seen in the private for the quality of medical care.
What about affordability? Like average budget? I understand it's probably different for different families, but I've had the question, from some people here in Canada who are considering to move to Mexico, what you would say for couple private insurance? Yeah.
I know for a family of four, we pay approximately $6,000 a year.
$6,000 American.
A year.
A year. Okay, with children.
Which compared to the United States is affordable.
I see.
I mean, it's not, I wouldn't call it cheap, but it's affordable.
Mhm.
Yes.
And in the public system, for the three of us, we pay around 22,000 pesos a year.
About $1,000.
I'm sorry, yes, about $1,000 a year. Now, the great benefit that we have with the public system is that, for example, Richard needs a control medication that it will be expensive to buy in the pharmacies. So through the public system, they provide that medicine for free for him. So he can have his prescription every month. And any foreigner with residency can apply for this public system.
Even temporary residents, do you know? Even having temporary residents?
Even what?
Even with temporary residents? You know,
yes. Temporary residency or permanent residency, they can apply for the public system.
I think they have a time limit. You have to, the first year or the first 2 years?
Of course, there is like the first 2 years, you cannot have the attention or consultation with a specialist. So the first 2 years is only general medicine. And after 2 years having the insurance, then you can have a consultation with a specialist and look into other like more specific medical issues.
I see. Very, very valuable information. Thank you.
But the cost of it in the public sector, the public medicine, the cost of it, I think is well worth just to have as a backup. If something was to happen to you or your finances, where you couldn't pay for your private, you have.
So you're paying for public as well. I thought that public is kind of free or from work. I know. Yes.
I think it's free if you have an employer, but if you have your own business or you're an expat and you're not working, you have to pay for it. So if you freelance or you're retired, you come here as a retiree from another country, you have to pay for it because there's nobody paying into it.
Okay, retirees need.
So here, the employer actually is paying into the public health care.
Besides the private insurance we have, we also sometimes we go to a private consultation for dentists, for example. We don't go to a dentist in the public system. We go to a private one.
Yeah, that's one in a couple of weeks. I already set up appointment because, dental is everywhere expensive, but it's not about the price only because I would like to have my own experience. And I know that there are good dentists with good, method of treatment, dental treatments. So.
But by the medical care in Mexico is, I can only compare it to the United States. With this statement is really affordable. You don't have to put away a third of your income to pay for medical insurance or go to the doctor. The deductibles aren't so high, even in the private sector. It's not so high that you can't pay it, or where, because in the United States I had where you go to the doctor and you have a $30,000 bill and you got to come up with $5,000 to pay the deductible on it.
Yes.
And here the deductible or the bill is smaller to where you're paying $500. Well, when my son was hurt, horseback riding, had surgery, had to have a pin put in his ankle.
Mm-hmm.
The emergency room, all the x-rays, the MRIs, everything they did, staying in the hospital for a couple of days. I spent around $1,000 of my money and the insurance company picked up the rest.
Okay, so even insurance itself kind of very reasonable, I would say.
Yeah, you pay a
Right.
deductible.
Right. And you got to pay, you pay the first percentage of the bill and then they pay the rest for the incident.
Okay. So what you would tell about, expat community in Queretaro? How many people coming from different countries, and what you would say if you part of expat community or you just know about expat community in Queretaro?
We actually are actively participating with a expat community type of club or civil association.
Okay.
We actually pay a membership every year to be part of this association, and they organize different events and gatherings throughout the year. So that's how we actually get to be part of it. Also, there are many expats, many of the expats that are moving to Querétaro, because Querétaro is so big, they're scattered in the city, in different neighborhoods. The most popular locations for expats is Juriquilla and downtown. Outside of that, there are other expats that are located in other areas, but there is not, the type of what I've seen is we have now lately in the last 2 years. Before was mainly retirees moving and some people that will come with their family because they came with a contract for a company, because there's a lot of international companies in Querétaro. But now there's nomads moving to Querétaro, or families that not necessarily have a contract for a job, but they just want to have the experience of living in Mexico and having their kids to become bilingual.
Very interesting. I am promoting Querétaro, and probably, people learning, and not only from me, but I found that Querétaro, it's a unique city. I've been in different Mexican states, and even with my experience a little bit living in Riviera Maya, I decided that I would like to live in Querétaro as well, because it's looked for me that it has the city has some special aura, and not only because it's UNESCO city, like architecture and very cultural city. There is something special about this city, or maybe you will share your experience.
What happens with Querétaro is that it combines the modernity with the historical environment, ambience that you can experience in downtown.
Yes.
So it's a city growing, yes, with a lot of industry, with a lot of many things to offer. You can practice all kinds of sports here. And when we were talking about medicine or private consultation, we have many good hospitals and many bilingual doctors. But Richard, do you want to say something else about Querétaro?
This area, so we lived, when we first came here, we moved to Juriquilla.
Okay.
Then after that, we lived in two different places in Juriquilla. Then we came to El Pueblito, moved to El Pueblito, which is more of an old kind of Mexican town, I guess you could call it.
It's neighborhood. It's near the city, yes?
Yes, we're only 10 minutes from downtown Querétaro, but yet this is more of a city. I mean, I call it the town that was lost in time, because it hasn't really developed with the high rises or all the modern amenities right in El Pueblito itself. Outside of it, you have everything you need. So I think for expats, when they come here, they need to honestly look around and see what they like, the way they like living. Juriquilla is very modern. And for me, myself, I like El Pueblito better because it's just kind of an older world and I still have the modern amenities. I can get to them real easy.
It's Actually, what I like about Queretaro as well, this combination of modernity and old style, actually Spanish-like colonial city. And I like La Publita. I visited this neighborhood. I know several monasteries which became hospitals, and there are several assisted living communities, facilities that I visited, and I'm about to visit as well. And it's very, very interesting that you selected this neighborhood that I kind of outlined for myself. I don't know maybe enough about others. I remember I've seen in other neighborhoods, Refugio, and some others as well. So how different they are from each other, like different people living in different neighborhoods. So
in El Poblito, for example, I can ride my bike. I can get on my bike and ride downtown. People are more patient there, I guess, because it's just the culture in El Poblito different than being in Queretaro.
Interesting.
They won't even, if I pull my bike over, they don't even try to pass me. I mean, they just stay behind you, whatever. No one's rushing. Like I said, it's more of an old world Mexican town where it even slows down even more.
Okay.
So that's how that neighborhood works. And that works for me. I mean, I like that. I'm retired, so, I'm in no rush.
And actually when we were thinking about the expat community, you can, if someone wants to be with the expat community or be socializing with it, there is a lot of groups that they can reach out to. But if they just want to immerse in the neighborhood or in the area where they would like to settle, that's also wonderful. There's a lot of people in Querétaro that speaks English while the person learns or tries to adapt.
Great tips of information.
The people, my experience is 95% of the people in this city, in this area, they're very nice people. They're very kind people. They don't really care if you can speak Spanish or not. They're still going to help you. They're still going to be nice to you. It's just the culture here in this city, for it being a good-sized city, the people are very friendly.
There are many reasons people choose to make the move to the destination of their dreams. Remote workers can work from anywhere with an internet connection. Today, virtually every part of the world is online. Once just the lifestyle of digital nomads, the pandemic has led millions of people to work remotely. Many are choosing to move to a foreign location. Retirees, too, discover how their nest egg can go farther when living in a location that offers a better quality of life while reducing expenses. At International Lifestyle Consultants, we have scoured the world to uncover the best foreign destinations to call home. Perhaps you dream of a pastoral life in the quaint European countrysides of Italy or Portugal. On the shores of the Black Sea, you can find luxury accommodations at a fraction of what you would pay in the United States and Canada. Enjoy a leisurely lifestyle of Caribbean or Pacific trade winds found in the beachside communities of Mexico, Central and South America. Choose from the many charming colonial towns located in the same region. Discover areas with quality access to dental and health care that have attracted many foreign travelers on a budget. We make choosing to live in your dream destination a reality. We have curated migratory, cultural, and investment opportunities that you will not find elsewhere. We know firsthand how to help you create your step-by-step relocation plan. You'll begin your journey by filling out our Know Yourself questionnaire. We can also arrange discovery tours so you can experience the culture up close and personal prior to making your move. You don't have to dream of living in an exotic location. Contact us today and make that dream a reality.